This sort of paper is based on a situation that I'm in between of two research projects. First of all, we just ended the work practice of data journalism research with my colleague Heikki Putti. He's presenting later here. It was funded by the Sanoma Foundation. It consisted of 35 interviews in several countries, including Paul, actually, also. And we were analyzing also a lot of award-winning data journalism stories from two separate competitions. And we did extensive reading of data journalism research, as we heard from Julian's previous presentation. There was more and more research coming on this topic. And while doing this work, we also sort of started a data journalism research Facebook group, which has right now 444 members. Please join in if you are not yet. So we are constantly having this kind of real-time discussions around data journals and research there. So we have published first papers, the models in stream of data journals, and a book in Finnish just a couple of weeks ago, the work practices of data journalism. And now, when we are just ending actually this research, we were able to find that, all right, we are actually doing research about the desktop era. Anyways, all our audience, all the people are living in mobile era already. So that problem with the tiny screens. According to our interviews, many US data journalists especially were already aware of this new mobile challenge already in 2014 in the springtime. But at that time, they didn't have any good strategies or even examples of good mobile data journalism. So just a couple of those citations. These are, I think, actually both. They were working for the New York Times, which is still one of the leading news organizations and one of the early adopters of data journalism practices in the world. And a little bit later, also one of the gurus for this Noda16, Simon Rogers, were also posting similar kind of notions that actually data journalism needs to go mobile. And of course, the reason is that there are more and more of us consuming news and journals via our mobile phones, especially smartphones and tablets. So when going through all these literature mentioned by Julian, we were not able to find any focusing on data journalism in mobile era. So this is always the case that the research sort of is lagging a little bit behind of the reality where we are living. So, of course, when there are not that much of research results yet, there is a great opportunity for a researcher and for a good new research proposal. So we did with our colleagues from University of Tampere a successful research proposal about focusing on data journalism in the mobile media landscape. And we are just starting that project actually. And Noda16 is one of those places where we start gathering new information. So be aware of our researchers. They will hunt you and ask you many questions during these 3 days. And also we are starting to monitor, especially the Nordic countries, what kind of good examples of mobile data journalism we can find here. And finding best practices is one of our key sort of targets here. And we are happy that the Noda16, the award part of that, they included for the very first time mobile data journalism as a new category. So as far as I know, this is the very first data journalism competition in the world, which is sort of paying special attention to the mobile as well. So I think one of the leading ideas is that, okay, there is not enough space to display properly this kind of very visual, very interactive, very fine presentations of data journalism. But I think this is wrong. Actually, smartphones offers a lot of new opportunities to do different kind of data journalism. So this is from a piece published by Nieman Journals Lab just a month ago, which was sort of collecting the best practices in the United States related to mobile data journalism. And for example, Los Angeles Times is certainly one of the leading data desks, also focusing on mobile creation of data journalism. So according to this piece, they have always multiple approaches, and depending of course how much time they have, they can do different things with data. They use a lot of geolocation services. They very often actually disable interactivity because it doesn't work that well in smaller screens. Also, the horizontal dimension from the desktops doesn't work that well when you are watching things from mobile devices. And usually when they are collecting a lot of data, they are just putting those into larger packets and simplifying it. So it's not possible to put all the data in small screens. And they very often have to redo the graphic or the map for the mobile devices. So actually a lot of extra work actually. So just in the end, a couple of those examples. Well, the city of Los Angeles is giving away open data about the aging water pipes or lines, especially related to leaks. And whenever you are walking in the streets of LA, you are able to see in real time where the leaks are right now. And I have to say, there are a lot of leaks. And I'm sure we could develop this kind of app also here in Helsinki, because I think old pipes, water pipes, they are everywhere actually. So this is something you can very easily copy, I think, here as well. And another example from Wall Street Journal, an interactive map that showed the different levels of nitrogen dioxide across European cities. And of course, this mobile app was related to the Volkswagen emission testing scandal. So this was published already during the autumn 2015. And once again, when you're walking through the streets of London, you are able to see the exact levels of how polluted the air is in your streets. And finally, I think because we are just starting, we are very open to all of us just join our efforts to try and understand how data journalism is done in mobile era. And I think this is one of, we can test this idea of starting a second way of doing data journalism research, not only focusing on one country or one news organization, but just putting our work together. And you can also already join in a new Facebook group focusing on mobile data journalism. You can scan this code pretty easily there. So thank you.
Do you have questions for Turo? Actually, I have a question for you then. So can you tell us something about what you are getting from the Facebook group already, the one that you had in the other project? What do you do with that?
Well, it's almost real-time sort of conversations around the world. So there are a lot of link sharing, mainly link sharing, I think. Not that much of discussion yet, but I hope that in the future we will have more discussions as well. But I think it's good to know that it's like a crowdsourcing project in a way that we are not able to see what's happening around the world, but then there are guys in India, Julian from Austria, sending good links to us. So we are sharing in real time actually, different kind of interesting stuff, basically.
We have time for some more questions if you have. So another question, I was thinking about this, you said it's easy to copy these mobile projects that you showed us. Are you expecting to see many projects that are copies of each other? Or have you already studied this with the copies?
No, well, I think, it's the basic ideas are quite easy to just follow. Of course, you can adapt and do by your own. You need the data set, the local data sets, but you can follow the sort of the examples what the others have done. Example for the mobile, because I think it's very new. There are not that many tries yet. And once again, I think the Americans are leading the way. So we are learning what they are doing there. And I'm sure that, during, especially this year, there will be more examples here in Europe as well.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
And now it's time for SS.